One reality I think about Christmas that our readings today bring out that we don't necessarily think a lot about is that of relationships. God wanting to have a relationship with us. In the first reading, God is asking Ahaz to enter into a relationship with him by asking for a miracle, by asking for guidance, for wisdom. But Ahaz refuses to do so. He doesn't want to be in partnership with God. He wants to do what he wants to do. In the gospel, instead of a king, God comes to a humble teenage girl and asks her to enter into a relationship. In a way, she's gonna get, have a child with God. The whole image of God always looking at his people as his spouse. And Mary said yes. Christmas is not about celebrating something that happened 2,000 years ago. It's about each one of us renewing our decision to be in relationship with God, to allow God into our lives, to play a role in our lives like Mary did. But a lot of times we don't think about that way. We think of all the external celebrations of Christmas and they're great. But the fact that a Savior is born unto us, a Savior enters into the human history, God enters into human history, God is asking each one of us to let him into our own history, our own life. Do we want God to be a partner with us? A lot of times, I think we're afraid, and that's why whether the angel Gabriel to Mary or when the angels appeared to the shepherds, the first words is, do not be afraid. We are afraid because we think we're going to lose our independence. Of course, God is almighty or powerful. If I go into a relationship with him, he's going to take over my life. We forget that that same God gave us free will. He doesn't force himself on us. He wants us to freely welcome him into our lives. And that's why he comes to us as a baby. Not someone to be afraid of, not someone that we would think that can run our lives, but as a baby, as whenever a family welcomes a baby in their life, it's going to change their life. It's going to make demands on them. And it's that love that allows a couple to give that gift of life to a child, to want to have a child. The only way we can overcome our fears is if we have that love for Christ. Then we will be willing to say yes, as Mary did, and welcome him into our life. For us, work here at the ACC, or, should be for every Christian, but I think for us maybe it's a more real thing. Is we feel or we should act as if we're working for God, right? But we forget one thing. We don't only work for God, but we work with God. And with God, all things are possible.